Hello, welcome to the Quicksilver Adventuring Company. Today, I thought I'd go over alignments, and especially if you new players, it'll maybe help give you a feel for how you want to play your character. It's just another tool in the toolbox to help you understand how you want to play this persona. There are 9 alignments, and they're essentially a combination of 5 different bases: lawful and chaotic, good, neutral, and evil. So you have lawful good, neutral good, chaotic good, lawful neutral, neutral, chaotic neutral, lawful evil, neutral evil, and chaotic evil. As a player, once you've been playing a while, you may not need these, and you just play the personality that you want to be playing for the campaign that you're in. So, and the alignment doesn't necessarily apply to that personality, but I'm sure you could probably, once you play it, there would be some alignment that it would generally fit into, but it's definitely not required. As a DM, I actually like to have a basic idea of what alignment each of my players are going to be running, especially in a long-term campaign. A one-shot, not necessarily as important, but for example, some of the chaotic alignments, especially some of the evil alignments, do not necessarily fit well into a long-term campaign. And I want to make sure that the party is going to work well together. And then like a chaotic evil character is going to be hard to fit into like a party of essentially good characters. So I need to know that out the gate and encourage and sometimes straight up require my players not to play that alignment. That being said, an evil character may fit perfectly fine into the party. They may be more of the lawful or neutral evil characters, but they may fit in fine. Just because you're evil doesn't mean you don't have strong loyalty to family or friends, but you may be more inclined, like let's say, to bend the rules, or just straight up, if you get someone alone in a room and you want to, you need to get some information, they may be more open to some questionable actions that the rest of the party may not be completely willing to do. When it comes right down to it, get with your DM, give him an idea of what you want to run, and just give him a basic idea of what it is, and that person will give you the okay, or maybe you tweak it a little bit to better fit into the campaign. If you're going to be running this campaign for months or a year, which some campaigns are, if not longer, you want to make sure that it's going to fit into the overall story and not cause problems. So if get the DM's blessing, and then you will be good to go. Now I'll go ahead and go over a list of what the alignments are, primarily for the new players, but for the old hats as well. Let's take the first one. Let's just start with the good alignments. Lawful good. This is actually just, they can always be expected to do the right thing. And that right thing is defined by the society they're in. So keep that in mind as you're role playing. The right thing in one society may not quite be the right thing in another society, but generally speaking, it's going to be, don't murder, don't steal, etc. And yeah, so I even remember back when paladins were required to be this. They're no longer required to, but back when I started playing in the 80s, paladins were required to be lawful good. The book even makes note that most dwarves are this, and I'm personally not a huge fan of generalizations in this regard, and just like to treat, just pick what you want to be. Neutral good. Uh, Generally, people try to do the right thing. They may or may not follow the laws exactly. They're willing to bend to be able to do what they feel is exactly right for the situation. Chaotic good. I've always found this alignment to be kind of fun. They generally do what's good for society, but they really don't care how they get it done. They're pretty open to anything that gets the greater good done. Definitely bending laws, not a problem. Lawful neutral. They typically believe in like lawful concepts like a personal honor, code, or tradition, but they more follow that than maybe the laws set down in the lands in which they live. Then there's neutral. Used to be called true neutral. It's just the middle of the road. They try to stay clear of moral questions, try not to take sides, and just do what's best at the time. Then there's chaotic neutral. They can be quite interesting to try to control. They do whatever they feel like on a whim, are quite content to not follow any rule and just more worried about them. Let's move into the evil alignments now. Lawful evil. they tend to take what they want, but within a certain code. It's usually their own, like a code or tradition. So very rarely would it be the laws of the land. My personal view is I've always thought of this as like the classic mobster. They have a code of ethics, they have honor, but they'll do pretty much whatever they want to get something done. Then there's neutral evil. They tend to do whatever they want without compassion. They don't have any like internal compass really holding them back from getting whatever they want done. Then there's chaotic evil. They tend to act with arbitrary violence. They will just do whatever they want, whenever they want, spurred by greed, hatred, you name it. This is an alignment that I really do not feel fits into most campaigns or groups as a party member. As a DM, one thing that I will do with an alignment is over time, if a member of the group is behaving in a certain way, and then over time they start to change, which is perfectly fine from a role-playing aspect, but there could be things that happen to them because of that. Like, let's say it's a cleric of a certain aligned deity, and you start doing things that are no longer aligned with that deity, you could start becoming penalized. Mainly, I would say it's more impactful to paladins, clerics, maybe a warlock with a patron. Maybe you're doing things that the patron would not approve of. Then that could be brought in as a role-playing aspect throughout the campaign. And then that character can make decisions based on their actions and the reactions of their deity slash patron. Another non-clerical or religious example or warlock example for a patron would be like, let's say, an assassin. We've all seen movies. I would assume most of us at least have seen a movie where a hitman or some other person that is after a target starts to protect the target instead of taking them out. They gain compassion, which goes against the organization that hired them, and then that is a potential alignment shift that with repercussions. I actually like this type of play with the alignments and then changes. And since I actually like to run more of a split combat versus role play and lean towards the role playing aspect of the game, and things like this can be quite interesting for the party. So new players, I definitely suggest you pick an alignment that aligns with how you've decided your background and character play is going to be, and then try to stick to that. Maybe you want to change it later on. Maybe you want to make a slight shift. It's up to you. That's the whole point of this game. It's a role-playing game, and you're not shoehorned into any one specific direction. I hope you found this video useful. And if you like it, please hit the like button. And if you really like the content, hit subscribe. I will be definitely making more content. Thank you for watching.